So friends, now that the monsoons are here, I'm going to show you all some amazing, quick and easy recipes. So first we're going to start with the simple Batata Bhaji. So here I've taken one small potato, washed it well, patted it dry, and now I'm going to use the slicer that you have in your grater, and you're going to cut them up into very thin slices. Now don't worry if you don't have a grater like this, just use a very sharp knife and cut the potato strips as thin as possible. They need to be, you should be able to see through them. They should be a little bit so thin that it's like almost transparent. Now most of the graters have this slicer on them. So you have to get these nice thin slices. Then only your batata bhaji is going to come amazing. Wafer thin bhajis. Now I'm going to put this into some water, room temperature water, for about 10 minutes. The water will turn white and we're going to use this water. Now to a bowl I'm going to take 1/4 cup of besan or chickpea flour. I'm going to add some salt to taste. And now I'm going to take a little bit of this water in which we have soaked the potatoes. Now you know that potatoes are starchy, so we're going to use this to make these bhajis nice and crispy. You don't need to add any baking soda, you don't need to add any hot oil. This will make it amazing. Just ensure that the batter is thick enough that it coats the back of a spoon like this. And drain all the water from the potatoes. You can keep some water aside in case you need to make another batter. And now you're just going to heat the oil for deep frying. And just dip these pieces in this thick batter, shake off the excess, see that it's coated nicely. And then fry it till it's nice and crispy in this hot oil. Now remember, when you're making the oil hot, make it hot on a low to medium flame. Never make your oil hot for deep frying on a high flame. It should gradually get hot. And for testing it, you can just put a little bit of the batter, and when the batter comes to the, rises up to the top, that means your oil is ready for deep frying. So in this way, coat it well, shake off the excess and fry them. Now you can already see, I will show you a close-up, but they've already started to puff up. And that is a sign of a perfect crisp potato bhaji. See, can you see that? I'll show you a close-up. Look at that. They've nicely, the batter has nicely risen without adding any baking soda or anything. It's just the starch from the potato water. And fry them nicely. Keep an eye on them. See that? It's nice and, fluffed up. I love potato bhajis personally. And I love bhaji pav. Just put this into a piece of pav, put some little bit of green coriander chutney, a little bit of tamarind chutney, and a little bit of dry garlic chutney. I have all these recipes on my channel. I'll leave the links to all of them in the description box. And then just place about 4-5 slices of these bhajis in the middle, and you have your lovely, amazing bhaji pav. That with some lovely hot tea or coffee on a nice monsoon day is just perfect. Now one tip I like to give you here is don't drain your bhajis on a kitchen napkin. Always put them on a steel sieve or sift like this. I have put them before on the kitchen napkins and they turn out soggy after some time. But I learned this trick, and whenever I put it on a steel sieve like that, they remain crispy for a very long time. So I hope you give this recipe a try. And reserve the water, because if you want to make it again, with some more potatoes and you don't have time to soak the potatoes very long, you can use this reserve water. So I hope you try out this recipe, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. So first we're going to start by making the dough for the samosas. So I've taken 1.5 cup of whole wheat flour. To that I'm going to add 7 teaspoons of hot melted ghee or clarified butter. Now knead this or crumble the dough with this hot ghee, and you should be able to hold the flour in your hand. That means the ghee has nicely coated the flour. Now we're going to add a little water at a time, and we're going to make this really soft and flexible dough. Something very similar that you would make for karanjis or nyoris. I will leave a link for that. Now you could use maida also, but I'm going with whole wheat flour for these samosas. Now knead the dough nicely for 2 minutes because we want a very flexible dough, because when we're rolling out the dough, we're not going to use any flour. So our dough has to be really, really flexible. And we're going to now, just rest the dough for about 10 to 15 minutes once we have kneaded it. Now after 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds and 1/4 teaspoon of ova or ajwain. Again, knead the dough and just set it aside. Now we'll start working on our filling while the dough is resting. So here I've taken 4 large potatoes and I'm just boiled them. I'll leave the instructions of how to boil the potatoes, and then I'm going to peel them and really mash them well. Then I'm going to add some salt to taste and again mix the potatoes really well with the salt. Now I'm going to take some green chilies. Now I use a mixture of light green chilies and dark green chilies. The ratio is always 2:1. So if I'm using 2 light green chilies, I use 1 dark chili. That will give you the right amount of spice hit. Now altogether I've taken about 10 chilies. I will leave the instructions of how many dark and how many light. And I'm going to make this into a very nice fine paste of the green chilies. Then I'm going to take 1 inch of ginger and grate the ginger really, really well. So now that our prepping is done, let me take you through all the ingredients for the filling. So here we have our mashed potatoes, we have the green chili paste. Here is the grated ginger. Now besides these 3 ingredients that you've already seen, I'm also going to be using 1 teaspoon of Kitchen King masala. This really elevates the flavor of the samosa. 1 teaspoon of roasted coriander or dhania powder. 1 teaspoon of roasted cumin or jeera powder. This is half a teaspoon of just plain cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon of pepper powder. Half a teaspoon of ova. Half a teaspoon of fennel seeds or sauf as we call them. And I'm also going to be using manukas, which are these dark dried grapes. They just add a lovely punch to this samosa filling. Now I'm just going to add the mashed potatoes to a large mixing bowl. Now here in a small kadai, I've added 1 teaspoon of oil or kadla. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add the cumin seeds, the green chili paste, as well as the ova. And we're going to fry this really well till the green chilies have really fried well and you get the lovely aroma of the green chilies, the ova and the cumin. So say for about half a minute, fry them really well. And now I'm going to add this to my mashed potatoes. So just flatten out the mashed potatoes and add this lovely mixture that we've just fried to the mashed potatoes. Now I'm also going to use these white peas that I've just boiled and set aside. That's completely optional, but it really adds, nice kind of body to the samosa. Now I'm going to add all the ingredients that I mentioned, all the dry powders, grated ginger. So I'm going to be adding all of that. And you can add it to taste also. So once you've added all the powders, like the measurements that I have given you, if you find that you need a little bit more of pepper or a little bit more of cumin, you can always add according to your taste. But guys, this tastes just like the samosas that you get outside in restaurants. It's so flavorsome and so delicious. Even the Kitchen King masala just adds a different taste to it. Now these dried manukas is optional, but guys, believe me, it really adds a little bit of sweetness that is needed for this filling. And the vatanas, as you call them, white vatanas, also just boil them for about 15 minutes in water. Don't pressure cook them because then they become very mushy. Soak them for about 20 minutes and then boil them for about 20 minutes. And then, of course, add the salt as per your taste. And that's our filling. It's all ready. So don't add any coriander, any dhania. It will change the entire taste. Just keep it like this. Only adjust the salt and all the other ingredients to your taste. Mash it up all well. Mix everything nicely together so the potatoes get nicely coated. Now we're going to make small balls, lime-sized balls of the dough. And we're going to roll them like this into an elongated kind of a shape. We don't want a round chapati shape, but a round, like a lotus pad kind of a lotus leaf rather kind of a shape, a long shape like this. This is the perfect one. We're going to cut it in the middle. Now we're going to coat the edges with a little bit of water. Fold it like this. Put water so that it gets bound well. Then just take it into the palm of your hand like a cup like this. And just add about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons. Don't overfill it or don't underfill it. Just till the brim, leaving a little space. Then again apply a little bit of water and seal the edges. Now it's very important to seal the edges just like we do with karanjis or nyoris. Sealing the edges is very important. Otherwise when you go to fry them, if the filling comes out again, it's a big fiasco. So I'm showing you 2 more. And once you get the hang of it, it'll be very, very easy to do it. Just ensure that it's sealed well, there are no gaps, there are no holes in the dough. If there are, then just restart again. And you can cut off the extra edges with a knife, or you can keep them if you want a little bit of crispy edges. But seal the edges like this really, really well. So this is like the perfect samosa. So you can make all of these samosas and keep them aside. You can even store them in a airtight container for a day or two. Don't keep them longer for a day or two in the refrigerator. And whenever hunger strikes, you can just deep fry them. So now that our samosas are ready, I'm just going to heat some oil and I'm just going to deep fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color on a medium to high heat, but keep an eye on it. And then just drain the excess oil on some kitchen napkins and you're all set to go. Now I'll be serving this with a special chutney. I will be sharing that chutney recipe very soon, but it's this typical chutneys that you get with the Punjabi samosas and like real good restaurants. They serve this lovely red spicy sweet chutney, so look out for that recipe. It will be coming up soon, and if I've already updated it, then uploaded it on my channel, you'll find the link below. So here are our lovely samosas all ready just to be dipped into that lovely sauce and enjoyed while watching your favorite movie or reading your favorite book. So do give this recipe a try and let me know how you liked it. Let's see today's lovely recipe of kanda bhaji or onion fritters. So here I've taken about 6 medium-sized onions, washed them well, peeled them, and I'm going to cut them into thin slices like this. And then just separate them and put them in a large bowl like this. So cut them lengthwise into thin rounds like this. Separate them and keep them aside. Here is a little closer look and a slower look. So for beginners, you can, just cut them like this. So I've slowed down the video. And then just crush them like this. Separate all the onion like this. And then we're going to put them in a large bowl. So I think 6 medium-sized onions should be fine. If you want more, then you can double the quantity. So now I'm just going to add some salt to taste. So roughly about 1 teaspoon, and I'm going to mix everything really well. And then we're going to set this aside for 15 minutes. And what the salt does is it, helps the onion to release, the onion juice or some kind of water from the onion. And you see after 15 minutes, the onion is completely wet. So that's what we're looking for. Now I'm just going to add a pinch of ova or ajwain. Next, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon or a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin or jeera. Next goes in 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. Now you can adjust this according to your taste. If you want it more spicy, then just go with a 1/2 teaspoon more. If you want it less spicy, then only use 1/2 teaspoon. And now we're going to add 4 tablespoons of besan or chickpea flour. So just sprinkle it over the onion mixture like this. And then mix everything really nicely together. And then you're just going to add about roughly 4 tablespoons of water. You shouldn't have any of the dry chickpea flour in your bowl. And the mixture should not be too wet. It should just be, just the right consistency, not too watery or not too dry. And then you're just going to heat up some oil and you're just going to deep fry these onions. These onion pakoras or these bhajis till they're nice and golden brown in color. Let them fry well on a low to medium flame. The oil also should be nice and hot. And let them become nice and dark golden brown in color and nice and crispy. And then just drain them on some kitchen towel. So the excess oil, you can get rid of the excess oil. So just put them in this manner. And let them fry really nicely. And your onion bhajis are all ready. You can have this with some lovely green chutney or some tomato ketchup. This goes amazingly well with a hot cup of tea or a hot cup of coffee. So I hope you liked today's quick and easy recipe. I'll catch you in my next video sooner than you think. This is Akshata signing off. Take care, guys. Bye.
Hi everyone and welcome to Akshata's Recipes. Thank you so much for stopping by. Well, keeping in with the lovely monsoon weather and the lovely rains that we are bestowed upon in our lovely city of Mumbai, today I'm going to be making one of our favorites, which is bread pakodas. I have a very quick and simple and easy recipe which anybody can make. So I hope you give it a try. Have this with a lovely, hot cup of tea or coffee. Read your favorite book, watch your favorite movie, spend time with your family and friends, and enjoy all of this over some lovely bread pakodas. Enjoy the recipe, and without much further ado, let's just start making these amazing bread pakodas.
So now friends, we're going to start by making the green chutney. For that, I have taken some fresh coriander which has been washed very well, first soaked in some salt water and then washed thoroughly. Then I've taken about 15 light green chilies, an inch of ginger, 3 to 4 garlic cloves, some salt, and some lemon, half a lemon, and I'm going to grind all of this to a nice fine paste. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. Now these chilies are not spicy at all, but when you add 15 of them, it gives you just the right spiciness for the green chutney. So we want a very fine paste like this. Now the next step is making the coarse paste for the potato bhaji. Now for this, I've taken about 1 inch of ginger, I've taken about 6 to 7 light green chilies and some few curry leaves. Here is the boiled potato, 2 medium-sized potatoes which I have boiled and chopped, and this is some coriander for the garnish. So I'm going to grind this with again a pinch of salt. So I want a coarse paste like this. And now we're going to make the potato bhaji or the batata bhaji. Now here I have some oil, about 1 tablespoon of regular cooking oil heating up in a pan. I'm going to use my spices from my spice box. That is asafoetida. I'm going to be using some cumin or jeera, some haldi, and some mustard seeds or mori or rye. So when the oil is nice and hot, on a low to medium flame, and this is the coarse paste that we're going to be adding to the potato bhaji. And some lime, half a lime too. So now my oil is nice and hot. I'm going to be adding about 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds, also called mori or rye. And we're going to let it splutter. Now for boiling my potatoes, I put them in the pressure cooker with some water after washing the potatoes, of course, thoroughly. And then on 1 whistle on high, and then I keep it on a medium flame for about 5 to 10 minutes. That way it becomes just the perfect consistency. Now I'm also adding 1/4 teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, some cumin and some turmeric powder. Now we're going to add the coarsely ground green paste. And we're going to fry all of this very well till the rawness of the ginger and the chilies and the curry leaves goes away. And it nicely flavors the oil. Now, one tip I like to give over here is, it's always good to just boil about 2 small potatoes or 3 small potatoes and keep them in your refrigerator, because they really are so handy. You can make potato parathas, you can make potato bhaji, you can make some patties, you can make pav bhaji. So I always invariably have like 2 or 3 small potatoes which are boiled in the refrigerator. Or you can make even potato sandwiches. So it really comes handy. And when they're in the fridge for about 1 or 2 days, you can work with them better when they're on, nice and cold and refrigerated. And now we're going to add some salt to taste. So about half a teaspoon of salt and a pinch of sugar. And we're going to mix all of this very well. And one more tip is, once your potatoes are ready in the pressure cooker, and your pressure cooker is, you're able to open your pressure cooker, immediately take out the potatoes. Because if you keep them in your cooker for a longer time, they become very soggy and they're very difficult to work with. So the minute you're able to open your pressure pan, just take out your potatoes and let them cool. And now we're going to make the next stage, which is getting our sandwiches ready to make this bread pakoda. So here I've taken brown bread and I've cut them into slices. So each bread I've cut into 2 slices. I'm going to apply a little bit of the green chutney that we had ground and a little bit of this potato bhaji. And just put another slice on top, half a slice, and just press it down and seal it up together. like this. Now you can make these and keep them in your refrigerator, and when you are ready to serve them, you can then fry them. This is such a great snack during the monsoons. It's also a great tiffin idea, or if you have unexpected guests, you can just put this together. It's just amazing. Just remember to press it tightly together so it gets nice and sealed up. So in this way, I've prepared all the sandwiches. And now we're going to make a batter. I have my oil heating up. And I've taken about half a cup of chickpea flour or besan. I'm going to add a little bit of hing, harad or turmeric powder, about 1/4 teaspoon, a little bit of salt. And now by adding a little bit of water, I'm just going to whisk everything together. We are looking for a thick batter, something like a dosa batter. We don't want a very runny batter. So I've added about 1/4 cup of water to half a cup of besan or chickpea flour. Now, one trick which I learned from my mother-in-law is, when you're making bhajis or batata vada or these pakodas and you want them to be crispy, all you need to do is once your oil is hot, just add about a teaspoon or 2 of that hot oil into this batter and mix it up well. That will really give you the lovely crispy flavor you're looking for. Then keep your tissue ready to drain out the excess oil. Now my oil is nice and hot, so just coat these ready sandwiches which we have prepared with this batter and then deep fry them till they're nice and golden brown. Remember to fry them on a low to medium flame. That way they get evenly cooked. If you go and use a high flame, then only the outside of the sandwich will get cooked and everything inside will be raw and soggy. So always cook on a low to medium flame. And once both the top and the bottom are done, just try to seal up the sides too. And once they're nice and golden brown, drain off the excess oil on some kitchen towels or kitchen napkin. This goes amazingly well with some tomato ketchup or some lovely green chutney at the side, or just by itself with a hot cup of tea or coffee. So I hope you liked today's easy, rainy or monsoon recipe, and I hope you try it out. This is an ideal tea time or anytime snack too. Let me know if you all prepare your bread pakodas in any other way. I would love to learn and love to know. If you all have tried out this recipe and liked it, then please leave your comments in the comment box below. Do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Spread the word about Akshata's recipes with family and friends.